especially mentioning the director of Jaipuria Institute of Management, Ghaziabad, Professor Davinder Narangji. Under your leadership, your institution has not only pioneered in the academic, also in the domain of innovation entrepreneurship by securing 4-star consecutively in the last year and this year, and started with 2-star. It is really commendable. So congratulations to the whole ecosystem you have developed, and all the IIC faculty members, and especially the students, and the kind of support system you have developed to give or to inspire the young minds to think about, to bring the positive changes in the society, in the market, as an entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur or as an innovator or as an inventor is really commendable. So a big round of applause to the whole institute, and all those are the part of this ecosystem. I heard the address by Binod Malhotra ji. He touched upon all the points, actually what our youngsters need and what the ecosystem actually should do. And exactly this is what we have, all the components through this IIC we are trying to achieve. And our vision is to make every higher education institutions to play the role of enabler by inspiring the young minds to think like a job provider rather than job seekers. And the points that you have touched upon, the happiness, which is the ultimate goal of each and every individual, and the creativity and the entrepreneurship is one of the way to achieve the goal of to become the happiest person in the world. And especially enlightening to listen the entrepreneurs of our generation, or my generation I can say, Mr. Arnab ji and Dipali ji, it's really touched the heart of each and every individual, the kind of the process. And what Arnab has said, that it is not the success or the failure, it is the kind of the thoughts and actions and behaviors that you refine through the process of this journey of this innovation entrepreneurship. So innovation entrepreneurship is not the ultimate output, but it is the process, it is a journey, and through which you learn so many things and you refine yourself as an individual, and that comes out in the form of a startup or in the form of some products or some of the innovations. So similarly, I had also gone through the phase of learning, and we call it the design thinking process. So he said the exactly same thing, the how you design your thinking process, so that no doubt the fear will come and uncertainties will come, but how you will overcome this fear, and you will embrace the change, and also you will overcome, and then finally you will see the success. And the opportunities comes in each and every stage. You have to learn it, and also if required you have to de-learn your previous learnings. So this is the process of learning and de-learning and refinement, refreshment. And similarly, this platform, what you all are today, is the part of the startup enclave, is exactly doing same thing. Because few are from the school, few are from the first year and second year, and many are from the faculty. So everybody has their level of understanding and their level of involvement in the ecosystem and different roles to play, and everybody has some take-home message from this platform. Like students, school students will think about what is the initial, the prerequisite to become an entrepreneur. Like, what is this? This is called the curiosity. So how you will have an inquisitiveness within yourself, and the curiosity and knowledge seeking, which will help you in building your confidence, and then that will help you in identifying the right problems and the right opportunities. And then each and every steps, that's the quicker you will start and you will fail fast. And from each failure, you will build your confidence and also have a better capacity to work on the opportunities, and finally you will develop a better innovations or the products in the repeated attempt. You can take any startup, you can take any startup founder, nobody succeeds in the first attempt. Nobody. They have to go through failures, they have to make a multiple attempts before they reach to the success, or what they're claiming to be success. So failure is inevitable. Fear will definitely be there. But as an individual, what do you think, what kind of a knowledge and the skill you have, and what kind of network you built, that will actually decide your next discourse of what you're going to do, or you are going to be a success or failure. And let me tell you, entrepreneurship is nothing to do with a success failure. Even though you can fail in a startup, still you can say yourself that you are an entrepreneur. This is the beauty, this is the kind of positivity with the entrepreneurship. And it was not happened with the businessman. It did not happen with the business. So entrepreneurship is not the startup, or it is not the business you create. Entrepreneurship is a process of learning what you acquire and what kind of wisdom you carry as an individual, or as a team, or as a society, or as a nation. This is all about the entrepreneurship. Sometimes we carried away with the word startup, and then we say that this much number of startups, this much kind of things. Then finally we fall into a different line of competing, and while losing the ground reality, or while losing our work for the society. Because after that only money comes, and money decides what's your action. So sometimes as an individuals also you have to keep a balance between this social aspect and also the, you can say the financial aspect or the capital aspect. Similarly, this IIC, how many of you are actually part of IIC? Would you please raise your hand? Institutions Innovation Council. Any students? Almost all? Almost all? Actually, let me tell you the story in very short. This IIC, how it took birth. Actually, in 2016, Government of India launched the Startup India and Stand Up India. So, in November 2016, AICTE has launched the AICTE Student Startup Policy, assuming that this will complement National Startup Agenda. In 2017, I joined AICTE as a single person, like one-person team there. And I was from South, I completed my study from policy studies from South Korea, so got the opportunity to work with government, so I joined. And we got because DPIT also started recognizing startups. In 2017, DPIT declared that only 600 startups, as per the definition of DPIT, only 600 startups are there in our country after doing the scrutiny and evaluation. And out of this 600, only 30 startups are from academic institutions. And in 2017, there were around 50,000 higher education institutions in our country. 50,000. 50,000 higher education institutions, only 30 startups from academic institutions, remaining 530 from those are already completed their graduates. So we did a survey, we did a small market survey, why it is happening. And we found that all these 600 startup founders, around 95% startup founders are from engineering colleges or the MBA institutions. And the average years of starting the entrepreneurship is 7 to 10 years of post-study period. That means they had completed their study 10 years, 7 to 10 years back. And most of these startup founders are incubated somewhere, and 80% were started, are in the job of called IT-based startups and B2B models. Actually, this is the starting point where we started to intervene as a Ministry of Education. Why this kind of scenario? Why a student not starting their startup thinking in the academic period itself, why they took 10 years time and spending 10 years of their formative years of the career to work in a job? Can we reduce that period 10 years to 2 years? We are not saying that job is not required. Job is required because job will give the perspective. But can you reduce? Can you make them understanding these jargons, terminologies, then concepts of innovation entrepreneurship during academic period itself? So the concept, the golden rule of start early, fail fast will applicable to these people because they have nothing to lose, because their tuition fee is already secured by the bank or by parents. Their food is already secured because they are getting from the hostel. And then they have the laptop, they have the internet, they have the library, they have the institution, they have the faculty members, they have the industry people. Mentor, everything is there. Even many institutions have developed the incubation units. then what? Students have nothing to lose. Only it is required that if they will go through the process, if they will be put into the various learning or experiential learning process like design thinking, problem solving, then incubation, pre-incubation, investment, grant, fund, all these kind of activities, workshops, seminars, they will develop a mindset and they will think about that innovation and entrepreneurship can be an alternative career option in having a placement. Because placement is only one-time intervention, conducted 1 month training, and then put them in front of the companies and they will get placed. After that, institute has no role. And it is a kind of a pressure on the institutions to place all the students. During that time, I'm talking 2015-17. So then we did a survey. We sent a questionnaires to all the institutions across the country, to all states, through the state education department, that please tell us what kind of, as an institute, what kind of activities you are organizing in your campuses, what kind of support systems you have, what kind of policy mechanisms you have, what kind of financial support systems you have for the students and also for the faculty members if somebody wants to work on their ideas, or what kind of things you have to create awareness among the young minds to think about innovation and entrepreneurship. I'm talking 2016-17 stories. And during that time, Global Innovation Index was the most international reputed framework which measured the where the country stands in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship metrics or innovation metrics. And they always used to capture the things that how many unicorns, how many unicorns, or how many patents commercialized. So they were capturing that parameters which is not applicable to countries like India, where we are in very, very nascent stage, where only we are dealing with at the initial stage of parameters, like input level parameters. So we started 3 things now. One is Indian education system, or our academics need a system that will institutionalize the innovation and entrepreneurship by touching upon all the stakeholders of faculty, students, then institution leadership, then outside industries and alumni, then incubation unit, then ecosystem enablers. Simultaneously introducing a policy which will make startup as a legitimate activity for the faculty and students while pursuing their career or the job in their respective institutions. And also, the ecosystem developed in our education system, how it will be measured. Because there is no mechanism to measure how an ecosystem will look like. Everybody was talking like ecosystem is like a black box, like it's something which everything comes in, but nothing comes out. Or if something comes out, that cannot be measured. So it was not like that institution not putting money. Institution putting money, but it was not in a structured way. So there were 3 challenges we had. One is institutionalizing the innovation ecosystem in education institution with no cost model. That means institution should not say that if you will not give this money, that we will not do it. So that was a challenge. Another challenge was that we have 50,000 institutions where universities are there, centrally funded institutions are there, then IITs are there, NITs are there, then private institutions are there, non-government institutions are there, polytechnic institutions are there, then non-technical arts and science colleges are there, management institutions are there, medical institutions are there. There's so many variety of institutions. Everybody has their own priority. How to bring them into a very homogenized model so that it will be acceptable. And also how to trigger the aspiration and making faculties involved in the whole process so that their performance, their contribution will be duly recognized. How the vision of the institution leaders will be inculcated so that they will feel that this is the integral part of co-curricular or curricular or extracurricular part of the institution. So making everything, we have listed around 19 challenges or the bottlenecks that actually hinders or promote innovation and entrepreneurship in our education institutions. It took 8 months' time and conducted around 200 visits into different institutions across the country. In 2017, we have listed and validated all these 19 challenges. Then thinking about that how it will start, and it started with a very indigenous model of, we named it as IIC. Simultaneously, we have crafted a very good progressive policy called National Innovation Startup Policy, touching upon how an institute will establish these mechanisms, not a person-centric but a system-centric, and also visualize down the line of 5 years where they want to see themselves in terms of producing innovations, inventions, entrepreneurs, problem solvers in a sustainable way. And then another challenge, we have created a framework called Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievement. Taking Indian education system and the innovation ecosystem exist, the parameters, giving more weightage to the input level, the essential components of the ecosystem, called Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievement. So these 3 things we have formed, and these 3 policy frameworks, then we have launched in 2018. First year, it was very difficult to convince the institutions because everybody was in a different momentum, different thought process. But the model, all these things were actually not demanding a single penny because it is built upon what the institution already have. We have not made provision that you have to develop a department or you have to spend money for infrastructure. No. Whatever the students you have, whatever the faculties you have, whatever the facilities you have, by utilizing the existing facilities and just acting on the low-hanging fruits, how you will start with. And once the institute will develop the portfolio of the activities, then it is easy to go and convince the state government or other resource agencies to mobilize more resources. And in 2017, only, I think, 200 incubation units are there, out of which only 50 are active. Remaining 150 incubation units are not active. And wherever the schemes comes from any government department, only these 50 incubation units are in the first line to grab all these schemes. So it was very, very difficult for the institutions, other institutions, to get the schemes or the benefits. And they have only one complaint that so far government is not giving any money and there is no fund scheme, then why you will start this one? Then we have included all these parameters and converted into non-financial incentives, and rewards and mechanisms has been built. And actually that started shaping this Institution Innovation Council. We started with 0 in 2018, and by end of 2018, we have crossed 600 something, 800 something. Then we got 2,700. Then we got 4,500. And last year it was 7,000. And this year it is 15,200. And you will find IICs in every parts of the country, in Andaman Nicobar, in Lakshadweep, in Ladakh, in Leh, and everywhere. And then we started thinking about that if institution ecosystem is developed, then it's a faculty role also has to play. We can't build the ecosystem by excluding the faculty members. No doubt we understand that all faculties are never experienced of this innovation entrepreneurship in their career. Mostly they're in academic, administrative, and the research, but gradually certain proportion, at least 5 to 10% of the total faculty has to upgrade themselves. That's why we started recognizing their efforts as called Innovation Ambassador. So we have now 50,000 faculty members from around 4,000 IICs. Those are now trained in different levels of the innovation and startup aspects, and now they are driving their local campus ecosystem. Also, they are developed a new expertise in the different discipline of innovation entrepreneurship, and they are acting as a mentor. Also, they are acting as an inventor. They are helping in technology transfer activity. Also, they have started more startups. So this is called the faculty involvement. Then to improve the quality of the ideas, because India was struggling with quality ideas, so we designed a program called AICTE Innovation Repository as part of the IIC, where what we said that now every institute will use this AICTE Innovation Repository to scout the ideas, innovations, and the startups, applications from the students or the faculty members, even the alumni members. But while submitting the application by any individual, they have to fulfill at least 5 or 6 guided questions, which actually put them or ask them to give a quality thoughts on explaining what is their mind in terms of an idea innovation. Why you included this one? Because in 2018, when we started innovation ranking, so we were asking the institutions to provide the list of ideas, innovation startups in your institutions. And I will not say the institute name, but there are many institutions from different parts of the country. They used to give list of 10,000 ideas, 5,000 innovations, 1,000 startups that they have supported. How it is possible that if you are having a 10,000 ideas, 5,000 innovations, 1,000 startups, but you are not into the allied list of institute in our country, also not in the other country, like internationally. So it started questioning that actually the process. Then we started that no, it's not the institute has to fill, it is the student or the inventor has to fill the information what they have done. So we started this AICTE registration, and now if you will go, because the data is available in public, we have around 184,000 innovation startups scouted from 2,300 institutions. You can see that kind of a volume of ideas, innovations are inflowing from students, and institutions are utilizing it as a pipeline for connecting with the pre-incubation facilities, incubation facilities, investors community, mentors community. That actually helping in improving the quality of ideas, improving of the quality of innovations. And this is very, very urgent, very much needed, because always we complain that startups mortality rate is high in our country, and only 10% survives or 5% survives. You know the major reason? Because startup as an entity, no doubt it is driving the innovation or it is making the innovations correct. But the innovation itself, when it is not quality, what startup will do? So correcting the innovation quality at the idea level itself will ensure its survivability. This is the reason why we have started this one. And we put a component called IP-driven startups or IP-driven innovations. So all these things actually building the whole things, and now we are aiming that this 15,000 will cross 30,000 by next 2 to 3 years. Because we are aiming high, we are thinking that India should be positioned in the top 20 in the Global Innovation Index. It is deserving the top 10. But let's try for top 20 in next 3 to 5 years. By 2030, when India will be the third largest economy, and it will move up from 5th to 3rd, and also we will become one of the, I think, second largest startup ecosystem in the whole world. So all these things are actually then, एक human brain जो है, normal human brain, वो every day 70,000 things सोचता है. Every second में आपका change हो, आप कभी एक constant नहीं रहता, every second में 2-3 बार things आपका आएगा. 70,000 things एक normal human brain सोचता है. ये 70,000 जो things आते हैं, वहाँ से 63,000 junk है. एवरी डे से आप निकालोगे 63,000 थिंग्स जंक है, वो यूजलेस है, इवन नेगेटिव भी होगा. नेक्स्ट जो 3 to 4-5,000 वो रिपीटेटिव है, आपके डेली एक्टिविटी जो करते हैं उसके बारे में सोचता है. तो ये नॉर्मल ह्यूमन ब्रेन और जो एक ह्यूमन ब्रेन विथ क्रिएटिविटी एंड इनोवेशन जो है, उसमें ओनली डिफरेंस है कि नेक्स्ट 2,000 जो थिंग है वो क्यूरेटेड डिजाइन थिंकिंग अप्रोच से वो चेंज करता है. दैट इज द मेक द पर्सन डिफरेंस बिटवीन ए नॉर्मल ह्यूमन ब्रेन एंड नॉर्मल पर्सन विथ ए पर्सन विथ इनोवेशन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. तो मेरा यही रहेगा आप सबको कि आप क्रिएटिविटी काम पे इन्वॉल्व रहो, सो दैट योर हैप्पीनेस विल इंक्रीज. एंड ऑल्सो प्लीज ट्राई टू एक्सरसाइज योर ब्रेन कॉन्शियसली, थिंकिंग अबाउट सम प्रॉब्लम्स विच इज रियलिस्टिक एंड ऑल्सो द एम्पैथेटिक एंड कनेक्शन विथ. आप स्केलेबल के लिए सोच सकते हो, अगर आपको इम्पैक्टफुल के लिए सोच सकते हो, तो आप एवरी डे एक 10 से 15 मिनट and go outside, observe the phenomena so that you will correlate, and that will lead to a innovation entrepreneurship. This is all about your innovation entrepreneurship. So thank you all.